Hello, everybody. This is Crimson Ghost here. I just wanted to tell you my brief opinion over the 1v1 ranked battles. To be honest, I don't really want to get everybody's opinions in a twist, but I kind of think it's stupid, only in my opinion, because it's just that whenever you start a battle with only one other person, people would tend to literally only put the Hotel Yankee single on, because all it does is it gives you a huge advantage when you're head on with another vessel, because damage caused by ramming an enemy plus 50%, damage received when ramming an enemy, that's negative 20%. That means that the chances of you dying when you ram another ship is significantly reduced. Almost completely obliterated. Excuse me. That means the other ship would be destroyed, while that means you're completely fine. I'm going to give you an example by just playing with the Hotel Yankee signal on and playing a ranked battle with a premium battleship that I recently just got with my last video, Lenin. And Lenin is by far one of my favorite ships, so I'm going to use it for this brief battle. And as you see, I'm playing against the Massachusetts, which is a decent ship, has amazing secondaries, but with the Lenin, to avoid pointing my broadside, I'm only going to be using my my front gun, so I'm not going to be worrying about the third gun.
Battle starts.
And the thing about Lenin, it's literally just the Tier 7 British battleship Nelson, except it has the Soviet Union painted all over it. And it actually has an advantage compared to the Tier 9 Japanese counterpart, Izumo, which basically is that the turret arrangement is exactly the same as on the Nelson, while the third turret on the Izumo is pointed towards the superstructure, which means whenever you have to go broadside, whenever you have to point your gun in a different direction, that leaves you no choice but to wait for a 180-degree turn. But with the Lenin, you can easily just point your gun in another direction, as I'm doing right here. So, as an example, I plan on going straight forward the Massachusetts with my hull angled, so the majority of his AP shells either miss or get deflected when it hits the superstructure. That one deflects, and I get in the range of the secondaries, and it starts showering down on me. I go fire a salvo at the superstructure hits in, and I do manage to get a couple of other pens onto a ship, which takes off about 6,000 missiles. Unfortunately, one of my main turrets has been destroyed, but that doesn't really matter much because I'm just going to resort to ramming this guy.
Problem solved, sir. The ship is on fire.
And when he fires his shells, they easily deflect off my angle bow. And as I showed you here, though unfortunately because I had a small amount of health lost, my ship was destroyed while I was trying to ramp to Massachusetts, and it results in a draw. So basically the point I'm trying to make here is because there's only one ship on a single team, most people would just resort to ramming. And because of the Hotel Yankee flag, it gives them a huge advantage. And whenever somebody else doesn't have the Hotel Yankee flag, it'll be almost impossible for the enemy to win. And especially with battleships such as the Lenin, it's a huge advantage. Because you don't have to you don't have to show your broadside in order to aim all guns. And also, the next thing I wanted to talk about was how EG managed to shit on so many of us. Not only did they shit on EU a couple of years earlier during the whole Graf Bay event, they managed to fuck up. They managed to shit on the entire World of Warships gaming community by releasing 0.8.11. And the way they did this is that they introduced a lot of hype with the new dockyard setting where they were gonna show the American heavy cruiser Puerto Rico being built, and everybody was so hyped up for that. Everybody was so excited. They were wondering if that could have been another like a permanent feature to have it built. But here is the catch. In order to get the boosts associated with the Puerto Rico, you have to get these things called shipbuilding tokens, which you can only get by completing some missions and also some of these directives. So the thing about these directives is that it became incredibly sketchy. And you see, the first couple of directives are fine. Like 100 set on fire, his citadel, 40 defended capture ribbons, 65 ships destroyed, receive 2 million HP of potential damage, and all that. But then, as the directives go on, you realize that the numbers associated with the missions and the directives begin to increase dramatically. Like earlier, it was 65 ships destroyed, now it's 90 ships, now it's 150 hits to Citadel, and 300 aircraft shot down, and Okay, this one isn't bad if you got Garita before completed the third directive. Because 15 hits a Citadel, that's a very easy mission to complete. I could complete that in one game, if it is possible. And then after that, that is when these missions get unbelievably ridiculous. So, Iron Will, you have to cause... How many zeros is that? So, you have to cause 9 million HP of damage to ships. Is 950,000 XP. I think that's like a grind and a half for a tech tree line. That is absolutely ridiculous. And also they have multiple base XPs. 27,000 base XP. Okay, now 20 million credits. 150,000 base XP. Wait a second, what is that? How many zeros is that? 47 million HP potential damage. And that's for Japanese, Italian, and American cruisers. You see, that would be somewhat achievable if you were playing as battleships. Hit enemy ships 1,700 times with main battery guns. 350,000 XP with aircraft carriers. Let's see what else. 7,000 times with the main battery. That won't be that bad with the Soviets like Khabarovsk or any of the gun destroyers. 2,700 torpedo hits, rocket hits, and bomb hits with aircraft carriers. 7,200 times with secondary batteries for German and American battleships. And the problem with these directives are, they gave us such a very, very little time to complete these. And I'm very late to be ranting about this, but I just wanted to show off my huge disappointment with this. And look at this! 1 million XP, preparing for the new year. This is utterly ridiculous. And 20 million credits again. I love how it says such enthusiastic titles like Launch the Fireworks, Here Comes Fun, When the Clock Strikes 12, New Year, New Directive, wrapping up the celebrations. Oh my god. And the thing is... Alright, so let me show you something else. So we go back into the dock. And, so the directives, every time you complete a directive, it gives you like, what, 200 shipbuilding tokens, 250? It costs a lot more to get the boosters necessary to complete the Puerto Rico. And it costs a lot more necessary to get the boosters than a single directive gives you. And the thing is, because because these directives are so difficult, I mean, some of the major World of Warships players can't even complete this. Flammo can barely even complete it. The Mighty Jingles can barely even complete it. Flambaz can even complete it. Why do they think that some of the average players can't play this? Like some of the people, like some casual players. That means they're intentionally targeting experts and like famous World of Warships YouTubers. And also, here's the other thing. Because the directives are so difficult, they're actually having you buy boosters in order to complete this ship. And Wargaming is like, oh my god, this is so free, guys, this is so very free. You guys would love all the new gifts that we'll be giving you. And so when I played the public test for this update, the prices for all of this were significantly less than what it is now. And it's like they multiplied it by 2. Like in the public test for this booster, it was originally 3,000 doubloons, and now it's 6,000 doubloons. So they're literally having you pay in order to build this ship, and all of this amounts to 24,000 doubloons. That means you have to spend like 100 USD in order to get all of these boosters. They're literally having you pay in order to get these boosters. And also, another thing I would like to bring up, the snowflakes are bullshit. Like, let me go show you something. So, let's say I use my Tier 9 Fletcher. And, the reward I got from it was 75 steel. But last year, during the Prince of Tel Frederick event, it was 200 steel. So they significantly reduced the rewards given to you after you complete a snowflake. Okay, so my moral of the story to you, Wargaming, get your shit together.